have some Q&A to do. I hope you're doing fine, 'cause it's Q&A time again. Hello world, hope you guys are all doing great. If not, as always, I hope it gets better for you. So welcome to another Friday Night Live Q&A, where you can ask us keeping questions on freshwater fish, shrimp, and or plants, anything that has to do with freshwater. We are here for you to try to answer your questions for that. And I am actually in a special area today, which I am down towards Washington, D.C., because I'm going to be giving a talk with the Potomac Valley Aquarium Society here tomorrow. So if you guys are near the area and want to check that out, you can go hit up their website at the pvas.com. And it'll have, you know the address. It'll have the address on there too if you guys don't remember it.
Green Acres Community Center in Fairfax, Virginia.
Yes, and big shout out to Michael Barber here for picking me up and giving me a place to have a fish tank behind us and talk aquariums with you. And he's not just any regular guy either. He used to do the whole Go Wild Peru. So I know many of you guys have heard of that Go Wild Peru, where they go on expeditions, collect fish, and all kinds of other stuff. And you said that you guys were working on another umbrella company for that, or?
I've been traveling down to the Amazon for 20 years now with MT Amazon Expeditions based out of Iquitos, Peru. And we do collecting trips, several a year, out of there, and we're working with our former Go Wild Peru business partner in Puerto Maldonado to start going to Madre de Dios and Cusco districts for collecting, where the Whitesman come and where there's amazing annual killifish and the big moemas that are like about this big.
Eric Bodrock showed me some of those. They get some huge, they get really cool killifish.
Eric was down there with us with Go Wild Peru.
I love Eric and Regina.
Yeah. They're great people.
Yeah,
they're great people.
Yeah. So all these fish that he's got in here actually come from collecting, right?
Yes.
So if you guys have questions about collecting or expeditions, now is a great time to take advantage of that.
That's right. These guys were caught in August in the Rio Nanay, the discus.
Very cool. Yeah, they got a little growing up to do.
Oh yeah, they were half that size in August.
Nice. All right, but hello everybody in the chat. Great to see you guys all in here. And thank you, Liquid Zoo, for posting that link to the Potomac Valley Aquarium Society. Appreciate you. Alright, scrolling here. And as far as videos, you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, the Halloween special. If you have not seen the Halloween special that I just put out, I really recommend it. It was just, if you haven't laughed today, it's a good laugh. Plus some really cool stuff going night fishing in the fish room. I know I've taken you guys night fishing in the fish room before and shown you guys how I did that. But it's a little different because I went through the whole fish room. And a lot of fish present different behaviors, different colors, and all kinds of stuff. So I put that in the Halloween special, and really neat treat for you guys if you haven't seen it. As well as some other videos. There was a couple build videos. We're going to have some out here for you this weekend as well. So be on the lookout for those. I'll probably hit you guys up on, I'm going to start doing every other day. I try to do the block scheduling, and it was doing okay for views, but I think it might have been too much for you guys to keep up with. So I am going to break them up for you. So stay tuned for all that. And did this just start? I just got notified. Yeah, for the most part, we've been in here for about 4.5 minutes. Fish tanks by flashlight. Spooky. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we do night collecting on the Amazon with flashlights and nets.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of fish that you only can collect at night.
Oh, I believe it.
The discus are some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're sleeping.
Oh, yeah. I keep a lot of rainbows. So if you try to catch a rainbow in a planted tank with the lights on during the day, no way.
No way.
You do it at night when they're sleeping, oh, it's so easy to swoop them up.
Yeah.
So you got any favorite fish that you collect?
I'm always interested in Corydoras and Epistogrammas.
Okay,
And I've got some Epistogramma noberti that I caught in August, and I've got a pair already with fry
nice.
in the back room.
That's always exciting, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. And epistogrammas, they're getting real hot in the hobby these days. And how's the quality as far as the video? I did not get on the Wi-Fi. I am just doing the cell, but I did have quite a few bars.
Good.
So hopefully the signal and audio is good. Let me know in the chat. And since I don't see any more questions, I'll just keep rambling until you guys start asking me questions. Or I can just ask Michael questions. So do you got any trips planned as far as expeditions?
January, we've got a 10-day trip going up the Rio Mazan, up to Coche, an oxbow lake, the most magnificent apistos we've ever caught are up in that region.
And this is all in Peru, right?
This is in Peru, out of Iquitos.
Now, is this near the mountains, down?
No,
by
it's in the
mountains?
flat in the Amazon.
Okay.
It's not in the cloud forest where Go Wild Peru operated.
Okay.
And we're trying
So
to
it's
get
a
back in
different
there.
space.
It's a different area.
Nice.
It's the Amazon proper.
So if you guys have done the Go Wild Peru, then this would offer something
Very different.
unique for you. So,
We'll spend a few days at our research station.
so is that wet season around January down there? So you
It's
go
wet
when the-
season, but the Napo and the Mazan originate in Ecuador,
Okay.
and that's north of the equator, and those rivers are at low at that time of the year.
Okay. So it's not like the flooded forest.
You'll see
season.
the flooded forest in Iquitos.
Okay.
And on our way there, you'll see the flooded forest.
And then you guys go hit pockets and stuff there?
Yeah, we have places where we've been before, and
Very
you know,
cool.
we've been doing this since '96.
Awesome.
And Devin has been doing it since '96. I've been doing it since '06. And you know, we generally start a collecting trip. What are you interested in? And then we often know where to go to.
See,
No
that's-
guarantees, but we know where
Right.
to catch those.
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
you ask people what they're looking for too.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
instead of just taking them like, oh, you're going to get these fish and these fish, but you actually.
It's like the
That's
first
cool.
the first year I took my son down. He wanted to catch puffers.
Oh,
Columbius
puffers
ocellus.
are really,
The
really
Columbius
popular right
ocellus, the schooling ones. And
now. I don't think I know what those are.
they're an amazing fish. He's got a 33 cube
But can you say
With a
the
bunch
name
of-
of those again?
Columbius ocellus.
Columnesis
Ocellus.
Any of you guys ever heard of that?
That's the Latin name.
Huh, very interesting.
And they're schooling fish.
Yeah,
and you
for a
can keep-
puffer, that sounds
and it's-
interesting.
We pull in a seine, we'll get anywhere from 50 to 500 in one seine.
Wow,
And
that's
just-
insane.
Globus, they call them globus down there because they blow up.
Yeah. How big do they get? So they stay
2.5,
fairly small.
3 inches. They're very small freshwater
Huh.
fish.
Do they have a common name? Not
Puffer?
yet. Yeah, puffer. Yeah, okay.
You know.
All I know is puffer fish right now in the hobby.
Oh, yeah,
super
yeah,
hot.
yeah.
But the only problem with most puffers in the hobby is they're usually individual fish.
Yeah, well, no, these are schooling fish.
And they get along in
And
school.
my son in his 33 cube, he has 8 or 9
Really,
in a 33-gallon.
all just getting along.
They get paranoid if they don't have friends with them.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool.
I used to
very
have a
interesting.
45 in the corner right here that had a dozen of them in it.
Yeah, that alone right there is interesting enough
Yeah.
for the whole live stream. So, I mean, I'll leave you guys at that. I'll see you guys. No, I'm just kidding. But very cool to hear. Very
Yeah.
interesting. So we'll look out for those. I mean, I know if you bring those type of puffers into the States, people would eat those up.
We don't import for sale.
Okay.
We import for people that come
Do
down,
it.
that collect them, and then I import the fish that they collect and transship them to them wherever they are in the States.
Very cool. Well, I hope you guys get in contact with this guy and then get in contact with
Michael
me.
.mtamazonexpeditions@gmail.com.
Okay. And you can repeat that again for him if...
Michael.mtamazonexpeditions, no spaces, @gmail.com.
Awesome. So if you guys are interested in that here in the future, definitely hit them up.
Our next trip is the 21st of January, and then we have two trips in August already on the calendar.
And what kind of cost are you looking at?
It's about $1,500 for a week,
Oh, what?
and it's less than $1,000 to fly down there from the States.
That's pretty cheap. That's reasonable.
That doesn't include, and we take care of you. We meet you at the airport.
So
We
all
take
exclusive.
everything down there is taken care of, except for shipping your fish back
Nice,
and all the souvenirs you want to buy.
nice. Very cool. So you do pay for shipping to ship them back?
No, people have to pay for that.
Right, right. And how much that usually costs, depending on how, like, you go
it's-
by box or?
It's about $125 for a standard,
Oh, that's not
the square, what is it, 17 by 17 by 8
bad. Okay,
fish box. It's about 125 to
okay.
get it to the States.
How long does it take?
I generally have the fish to everybody within 48 hours.
Oh, wow.
Of
that's pretty
departure
quick.
from Iquitos.
Wow, wow.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Because that's almost a straight flight,
it
right? How long
They
does
go
it
from
take?
Iquitos to Lima, through Miami to BWI and Baltimore. And then I pick up the fish and transship them on Southwest.
Okay, very interesting. Cool, yeah. So, all very interesting. I hope you guys are enjoying this content. Chris Trapp says, is he affiliated with Project Piaba?
No, Project Amazonas. Piaba is in Brazil. I'm affiliated, I'm on the board of directors of Project Amazonas, and we're into sustainability, rainforest preservation, and delivering medical care in remote villages in the Amazon. And we have a clinic on the Oroso River also.
Nice, so you help take care of the whole community.
Yeah,
Then
we
that's
take
great.
care of people, yeah.
That's great to hear.
Train community healthcare workers. We just bought a facility in Iquitos to bring community healthcare workers in, to train them, to connect them with medical expertise.
Very cool. So you're building up the whole community and everything over there. So that's good full round. And Chris Trapp says he's keeping pea puffers with some shrimp, and they're not eating the shrimp. I don't know how you're doing that,
Yeah.
Chris Trapp, but
Pea
you got
puffers
real lucky.
Are real small.
Yeah, and they're real rascals too.
Yeah,
When
they're
it comes to
rascals.
puffers,
Yeah.
they're definitely rascals.
Yeah.
And do you know if anybody has bred those puffers? Asked Deb.
The Columbias ocellus, I do not know if anybody's bred them.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear if somebody has.
because well, that's not the same puffer you're talking about, right?
Yeah, the pea puffer, I know they've been bred.
Right, but the puffer you're
The
talking about.
Columbias
Yeah.
ocellus, I'm not sure
Yeah,
if anybody
okay,
has.
okay.
I haven't heard of anybody that has.
Yeah. Wish I could write that word down for you guys because I know it's probably
Collemmeusosc, ocellus,
ocellus.
Columbias ocellus.
Colomesis. Yeah, that's a whole mouthful. Good old Latin
Just
fish names for you.
Google Peruvian Amazon puffers.
That school or something. Yeah.
I've got a book upstairs.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, or even a picture or something would be really neat. Very cool. Very cool. So I'm really interested in those puffer fish. I don't know about you guys, but they sound really neat. Saint Dust Aquarium says, do you have a special paperwork for the fish when you do this? I will ask him that when he gets back. I'm kind of scrolling here, but once again, great to see all these good names in here. Sorry I was late for you guys. I literally just got off the plane, got down here, and then hopped on here for you guys. And luckily, Michael was awesome and gave us this tank here to actually do this live stream for you guys. Scrolling. Ah, you've heard of this gentleman. Yes, that's... let's see. I need some plants from Amazon. Where can I get some? Plants from the Amazon? I don't know. We'll ask him when he comes back down here. He's coming back down. We'll ask him those questions too. And looks like he's got a book. So we got the name, so he could at least either pause it and capture this name, hopefully. So do you ever get into plants down there?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Oh, see his,
There's a couple.
see his face light up when I asked that?
Those darn plants, you know, they jump in my pocket. Don't tell anybody though. And then they jump into a plastic bag and jump into my suitcase. You know, they're just
Is this
pernicious
it?
little guys.
Is this it? Is this the word right here?
COLOMESUS. Yes, that's it.
That's it. So Danimal Cracker just put it in the chat there for you.
402.
So thank you, Danimal Cracker, for posting that. And what was the other question you guys asked for him? Let me scroll back here. Oh yeah, there's the buffer.
You see them there? Very widespread in the Amazon. Does not have a pelagic stage in the ocean.
And what book is this?
This is the best
Oh.
book that's come out to get you to the genus of fish. Field Guide to the Fishes of the Amazon, Orinoco, and Guianas.
And the Guiana.
Yeah, the AOG. And the great thing is you can flip through it and you get to the genus and you can narrow down from there to the species.
Very cool. So here, you want to flip the, yeah, show you guys the book. Very neat. I didn't even know this existed. Field Guide of the Fishes to the Amazon. Even shows you like the areas and the fish and everything else. Pretty much everything you want to know.
About $20 on Amazon.
$20? That's a steal.
It's really
That
pretty
is a
reasonable.
steal. Oh my God, very cool.
We
love-
have a
I
copy
love
of this
aquarium books.
down in the
It
boat.
does have color pictures for you guys who like color pictures. Quite a few of them actually. Of fish and everything. This is cool. I love fish books. Oh, I could definitely get into a book like that. Very cool. And let's see. Scrolling. Can you show a close-up of the fish he has caught? I could do my best. I've got you guys on a stand. Actually, yeah. Here, let me just pop you guys off here.
So the bleeding hearts were caught in August. They were about half the size. The discus were caught in August. The Nanostomus equus up high up here. See the pencil fish up in the back? They were caught in August. Now, obviously, I did not catch the cardinals because they're out of Brazil, but those are wild caught. This is a really beautiful Cory here. He's heading towards the back.
Is that the Wetsman?
No,
Which
there's
one's that?
Weitzman eye F1s from some. There's a Weitzman eye from an F1 from some that we brought back.
Oh
from
yeah,
Go
they're
Wild
more of the
Peru.
striped ones, right?
No,
yeah.
the Weitzman eye has the band on the head.
Yeah, the
in
triple
in
banded
the
one.
middle, and then towards the tail.
Yeah.
There's 3 Weitzman eye in here.
And what are these again then?
That one there is Corydorus Anakai, CW123, I believe. Those were caught Go Wild Peru a number of years ago. The phenotype location has been devastated by the exporters because they use Barbasco.
What is that?
It's a local poison that they poison the stream. Every fish floats to the top, and then they aren't those discus amazing? And they're just really small and they're nice. Already starting to show color.
Very cool. I like how you put, so he put bloodworms,
No, those are black.
or black worms, cute black worms, right? So he's got these cute black worms and he stuck them, they're freeze dried.
That's one of those cones that you generally have at the top of the tank.
Yeah.
And I put in some
wire.
plant weights in there and sink it down, and
Just makes a feeding trough for him.
that is not an original thought of mine. That was Dean Tweedale,
Okay.
Aquarium Co-op, a
We all
good
know.
friend of mine.
Yeah, we all know Dean.
Yeah, I've been-
Dean's a good guy.
I have been down to the Amazon with Dean and Corey and those guys now 3-4 times. I think they're gonna go back down. They're gonna charter the boat next year and do a rainy season trip.
Ooh, that'll be cool. And I know he will get some
I got
footage
more
of
back
that.
here.
Hopefully.
I've got-
Oh, you got
I've got-
more back here? We'll do a little fish room tour. I mean, you guys want to do Q&A or fish room tour?
lights are off.
Oh, well, we can give it a little glimpse here. And he said he used to have 150 aquariums in here. He had to downsize. Grandkids needed some play space and whatnot.
Here's some miscellaneous apistos that have come back from Peru.
They're like, what is this light beam?
Yeah, what is this like? And some Norberti here. Female just went inside. She's there. There's a couple Norberti down here. See the female in breeding color?
Yeah, with the dots and stuff.
If you can you see the female there? She's on this edge. Oh, she.
The one that went in the cave.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
got
I got
fry.
it with all the dots.
Rivulus rectocaudatus, killifish, annual. I don't know if you're seeing him there or not.
He's hiding pretty good.
He's hiding.
Yeah, come on out. I love Rivulus.
Yeah.
Rivuluses are always pretty.
Have some pygmaeus. These guys came back in August.
Yeah, little baby pygmy. It's kind of hard to see here.
Yeah.
Holy Lego, Lucas. Yeah, I don't think we're getting very good internet in here, so.
No, probably.
All right, we'll get out of the room so we can get our internet back. Fish rooms and Wi-Fi or just cellular data does not ever mix. All that water. All right, very cool. Yeah, I've actually been to Dean's and done a
Dean's fish room?
tour of all
Yeah, I
that.
visited his
Aquariums
fish
and
room
stuff.
in June.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's a neat fish room.
He's got a very small space, but very, very well done.
Yeah, well organized. He utilized it really well. All right. And I am towards the bottom of the chat. Sorry if I'm missing any of you guys' questions. GNV says, hey Lucas, when you grow your cribs for sale, are they all grown in substrate or some just floated in tanks? So they're all grown in substrate. If you float them for too long, they'll grow all wonky. The leaves will start folding into the roots and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it makes them really hard to do that way. All right. And I've been using the yard sand for that. Good old yard sand. And hopefully our quality of the videos come back. Mickey M says, hi Lucas and everyone. In total, how many species of pistos have they found during their trips? And what is the most odd or fascinating new thing they have learned when seeing them in nature?
Well, we catch upwards of 200 species of fish in a 1-week trip.
Wow.
150 to 200 species, sometimes more than that. This last August, the neatest thing that we saw was one of the gray dolphins jump all the way out of the water, which is very rare down there.
Yeah.
First time I've seen it in 20 years.
Don't they like throw rocks out of the water and stuff? Have you
No,
ever seen
no.
that? Okay.
There's
Maybe
two
the pink
species
ones.
of dolphins in the Amazon, freshwater dolphins. And now there's no rocks in the Amazon. So they can't be throwing rocks if there's no
Oh, I
rocks.
thought I've seen some documentary on like BBC documentary.
Well, that could be
or something.
saltwater.
It might have been the
saltwater
pink
dolphins.
ones. Have you seen the
The pink one,
ones?
we see
Yeah.
pink ones all the time.
Okay, I think
I've
it
seen
may
a
have
pink
been
one
those.
jump once all the way out of the water. And several years ago, middle of the night, we were seining on a beach in the Rio Nanai, and there was a jaguar on the beach with us.
Ooh,
That was really neat.
spicy.
Yeah, that was really neat.
Right.
But fish-wise, you know, some really amazing sucker mouse, plecos, big guys like this, you know.
So I'm sure you probably catch a lot of species that just aren't even really seen in the
Oh yeah,
hobby,
there's
or-
lots of species that aren't seen here.
Yeah, you go through a couple hundred types, you said.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
And a lot of people want to
types.
bring back those fish that aren't in the hobby here.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I introduced the orange lasers to the United States.
Really? Those are one of my
Over
favorite
20 years
toys.
ago.
Very cool.
I introduced those to
very
the
cool.
States. They're
I love those.
and now they're all over the states and brought into the states and everything else. Those are from way up the river.
And that's good for conservation values and stuff too, to be
Yeah.
able to get these kind of fish into the hobby. And those orange lasers are just beautiful.
Well, there's most of the fish in the Amazon aren't endangered, but there's a lot of fish we'll never find. You
Right.
just don't know. But yeah, you know, Go Wild Peru, we used to discover new species all the time because that was not a very well explored area.
Yeah.
And Ian was adding lots of CW numbers at that time.
Yeah, I noticed around that same time. Yeah,
Yeah,
the CW
CW
numbers
just
were
took
blowing
off.
up like crazy.
Yeah, we're finding new species
Yeah,
all the
between
time.
Ian and Eric and all
Yeah.
them, and yeah.
However, there are certain people that say, well, I discovered those in 1996, because that individual's discovered every fish in the world, every plant in the world.
Right, is that Heiko?
I didn't say that, you did.
I'm sure he'll understand. I doubt he'll ever see this. But Danimal Cracker, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. I'm trying to click on it here to read what you put, but says, have you guys ever watched Coral Fish 12G's video from March of this year, discovering new fish in the Amazon with Heiko Blair? Very interesting. They discovered the new blue species of tetra in the video. Oh, well, that might be controversial because I remember that they were coming out with those blue tetras before that video even came out. You guys were doing it at Go Wild Peru. I remember JH Aquatics was bringing and breeding.
Yeah, he was bringing them.
Remember him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I talk to him on the internet all the time.
Yeah.
He's moved back to
St. John.
St. John's in the
Yeah.
Virgin
I went out
Islands.
and visited
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Did a little tour. We went through the guts.
He had a tank that was just colony breeding.
Yeah,
all
with
the
those
time.
blue tetras.
He wants to
That's
go
really
back
cool.
down to Puerto Maldonado to get those again.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
He's after me.
I think his girlfriend still has them or something.
Yeah, his
She's
girlfriend
been kind
still
of
has
holding
them.
on to.
Yeah.
Our ex, I should say.
Ex.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's another long story, but yeah, that's
That's a long story.
yeah. But thank you, Danimal Crackers, for that $10 super chat and the support. Really appreciate it, and definitely helpful right now because you guys can't see it, but if we were in the barn, you guys would see just it full of 20 longs from the Petco sale that was recently on. I had to go.
Sale.
Yeah. I kind of spent everything on it.
I did that once, and I hit up 3-4 different Petcos in the area and got
Yeah.
every 20 long and I had them all on end like this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing.
they're great size for breeding.
They are.
Tanks.
They are. I'm gonna mostly use them for shrimp
Mm.
because you can set hides in the back where
Yeah.
you make rock piles, and they can
Yeah.
go live in the rock piles, and they get a lot more
You
surface.
do
area that
Cardinia
way.
or Neocardinia?
Both. Yeah, I'm more known for Neocaridina.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got a guy in the club that does the Cardinias, and he's
Okay.
bringing in shrimp that run 1,000, 2,000 a piece.
Yeah, some of them get pricey.
Very
Yeah,
pricey, yeah.
Yeah.
There may be some of those in the auction tomorrow.
I actually used to. Well,
Jacob,
it's been a while.
you know Jacob
Jacob.
Waters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that asked.
Yeah, he asked you to come up.
He's the one that's doing that. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. And yeah, as far as the shrimp, I judged the contests and stuff like that for the international.
I've
and
got some
American one.
Neocardinias, but
I like them. They're neat.
yeah, they're neat.
Yeah, I noticed them in there.
Yeah.
You had the cherry fire reds. All right, back to your guys' questions. Big Shrimp said, did they ever sell all those racks and tanks they were selling at CatCon? Oh, I don't know. I wasn't there.
No,
at that
there's
Cataclysm.
still some racks available.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
The 4 that were in my garage are gone, but there's some out in Rixieville.
So they're selling full racks?
They're 8 feet long, 3 shelf racks. $25 if you pick them up out there.
$25, that's a steal.
Yeah, the lumber alone
That's
is
cheaper
probably a
than
couple
the paint.
$100.
Yeah, the
the
paint
lumber's a couple $100 worth of lumber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they painted or anything?
No, they're just
No, okay.
they're not painted. They're not finished. We've got the racks.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Still
reach out to
$25,
me.
That's cheap.
PVAStreasurer@gmail.com, and I'll set you up.
Okay. You guys hear that? You hear that, big shrimping? Thanks for the question. Sickless23, always good to see you in here. Says, is your neighbor Lucas? Sorry, I missed the beginning. Is this your neighbor? No, this is not my neighbor. I'm actually in a whole nother state. I'm near Washington,
Northern
DC.
Virginia in Reston.
Yeah, so I am far from home right now. So orange lasers are naturally occurring, asked Big Shrimpin'.
Oh, yeah, the orange lasers are, yeah.
Lucas, do you ever have Pristilla tetras for sale? I don't. I have not been that great at breeding tetras because where I used to live was always hard water, and I plan on getting into tetras here more at the new place, but I don't know if Pristillas will make the list, even though they're one of my favorites, the Pristilla X-ray tetras. You got that neat little white and yellow and black on the fin and the see-through. Let's see. Scrolling at the bottom of the chat again. If you had those questions, says, on these trips, have you found any small ribulus species? Rectocaudatus,
Rectocaudatus?
yes.
I know.
Amphilolivius
Yeah,
are quite large.
Yeah, those are annuals.
Okay.
Yeah, we've caught annuals.
So they only live a year. Or they come bi-yearly.
In nature, they generally live less than a year.
Oh, because of the
Because
flooding and
the flooding, yeah. But the rivulus they'll live 2-3 years.
Okay.
If you bring them back and put them in an
Take care
aquarium,
of
take
them.
care of them,
Yeah.
yeah. And we get lots of different ribs.
And those are the little Achilles, but then some of them get big, right?
The Moema,
The Moema.
Hui, I'll get 5-6 inches.
And that's
Huge,
still
yes.
a rivulus.
No, that's an annual.
Okay.
And they live probably 5-6 months in the wild. And then maybe a year before they start breaking down in the aquarium.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a talk on collecting Achilles down there.
I remember seeing one.
I've traveled all over the country doing talks, and I don't do them much anymore, but I have a killifish talk that I give. Yeah.
So what kind of talks do you have?
Oh, lots of them.
Yeah.
Collecting talks and, the perfect fish room and.
So if any clubs are listening, a lot of club
yeah.
board members do watch this channel. So I mean, if you guys are looking for
trouble.
a speaker, you might start getting emails.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Especially for killifish. Shoot, we need more people talking about killifish than anything.
Yeah, I've probably got 50 species in my killifish talk.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that myself.
Well, I could run you through it tomorrow morning.
Okay, a little quick run through. That'd be nice. Xanadu, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Appreciate your support. Says, just sending a little love. Great guest stream. Thanks as always. Well, thank you, brother. Really, really much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. And we'll put that to good use. All right. So, I am back at the bottom. Again, I know we had some questions up top that I was trying to get to. But I will be back towards the bottom, so if you didn't ask them, be back down there. Let's see, I'm looking for a tetra. I don't know the name. It's black with red dots, not black phantom tetra. It's from the Amazon River. A tetra that's black with red dots.
Black with red dots.
I don't know. Most of them
There's
usually
a
are
really
striped.
interesting one we were getting in the Cusco region outside of Quince Mill. And the name escapes me. It was one of the more colorful ones, but a black tetra with red dots.
The only one that I really know with the red dot is the bleeding heart.
Yeah, and that's what those are.
That's right here.
And these guys, being wild caught, will get about 3.5-4 inches eventually. You can see some of the males really starting to color up nice.
Yeah, they get good size. They get beautiful when they do.
Yeah.
And Stella Cuteness, thank you as well for the $10 super chat and the support. Appreciate you. It says, peace to you, LRB. Keep up the great content. You're a blessing. Well, you're a blessing as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very much appreciated. And, so Lucas, is Mike gonna let you stay at his house tonight? So I do got a hotel, but I think he did offer.
Yes, I did.
Mickey M says, how many Achilles species are in this house you're in, and how many Apistos? There's one Achilles species in here, and
Four
four
or five
Apisto species.
4 or 5 Apistos and a pair of Apistogrammoides, Pulcapensis. They have a genus all to themselves.
But it used to be a lot more.
Yeah, I used to have, you know, I bred 50, 60 species of cories in this basement.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Ronnie Simonian says, what temps do you use to breed your Achilles?
Cool.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
70s,
Yeah.
low 70s.
Yeah. This tank though is at 86.
Yeah. So about normal room temperature, as long as you're not keeping one of those. I like the house as a freezer. And they're not too picky.
And basements are very.
And they do kind of they do prefer softer water when it comes to breeding as well. Not so much for the fish, but more for the eggs and how they hatch out. So leaf litter is always good. Anytime you can soften up the water.
Oak leaves
Oak leaves.
is what I use for leaf litter.
And you're just telling me about I used to breed autocinkless with a lot of oak leaves too. So
Half a tank of oak leaves and light and get a huge amount of algae.
Yeah.
And
how warm do you usually keep them when you breed them? Just room temperature?
yeah, just room temperature.
Yeah, so 70s.
Because the fish in the Amazon, breeding is triggered when the wet season starts. And you get lots of cooler waters that come in to the Amazon, and the Amazon starts filling and goes out beyond the regular banks, way back into the forest. So there becomes abundant food from decaying matter, decaying leaves that have fallen all throughout the dry season. So the fish are going back in, and they're getting the cooler waters coming in. A trigger often is a low front coming through, bringing more rain, and that's what I always used to do with my cories. If there was a low front coming here, I do 70–80% water changes with cool water compared to what they were in, and that would just trigger the breeding like crazy of the cories.
Because it says it's the season.
And they would go, hey, you know, it's the wet season starting. Let's, you know, that's their triggers.
Yeah.
You know?
And I notice a lot during those seasons, especially whenever water raises up into certain areas, there's tiny microorganisms that like lay eggs into the sand and soil, and then they don't like start popping up until that water gets in there, and then it's just all kinds of trees.
There's
So
lots and lots of food.
You get Daphnia, live Daphnia or something like that. That's one of the most universal triggers for telling fish, hey, it's time to breed.
Yeah, because there's an abundance of food, and the fry have lots of small organisms to eat.
Yeah. Very cool. So you gotta be the fish, think like the fish.
Yeah, I've tried the thing of reading how they breed, and then I put it up against the tank and tell them, look guys, this is
how
what's
you
supposed
do.
to work, and it doesn't work. And then you leave them alone, and they say, finally, and they breed.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That sounds about right. That's hilarious. The recent found Nanostomus is red, but it's black too.
Oh, the super red pencilfish. They're catching way up the Rio Tigre. Yeah.
Super red pencilfish, huh?
It's called super red
I don't think I've seen that.
It's a new Nanostomus species. It's fuller bodied than the Nanostomus mortenthaleri. And the exporters in Iquitos that we visit after we go collecting, we always go to several exporters to visit. They have those, and you can buy them. And I think this last August, people were buying them for $2-3 each
And where they go to buy those?
at the exporters
At
in
the
in
exporters.
Iquitos.
So they just gotta get in
Yeah.
contact with them?
No, well,
Or through
I take them,
transship
I,
them?
after collecting for a week, I take everybody to the exporters.
Okay.
That's part of-
Okay, so
it's
it's
part
part
of
of
what we
the
do.
journey.
It's
Okay,
part of the
so
trip,
yeah.
yeah.
Very
Because we
cool.
have to take our fish to the exporter that exports the fish for us. And he has lots of fish. And then we go to a couple other exporters in town and buy fish.
Okay,
If you want to, yeah.
interesting. I bet that would just be neat to see that.
Oh,
online,
yeah. We go to Stingray, which is the biggest operation down there. And they've got probably 1,000 tanks.
I
Easy
bet that would
1,000
be so
tanks.
cool.
It is cool. You should come.
Yeah, I
You could
should.
do you could do podcast.
That would be neat. I don't know how the internet is down there. But we can definitely take footage and video for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe one day, I think you gotta get shots and stuff to go down there, don't you? No? No? I might have to do that.
Just
I don't
make
like
sure-
injecting myself with things I
Yeah,
don't
just
know
make
what.
sure your tetanus is up to date.
Okay,
And, if you want a yellow fever, we can get you a yellow fever down there
okay.
for $5.
I
Here in
can-
the States, it's a couple $100.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
okay.
And actually, one place I got my last yellow fever down there was free. But they only do yellow fever a
Well,
couple,
I mean, if
couple
you guys
days a
run
week.
a clinic, or have that clinic down there.
Yeah, we don't have the yellow fever
Yellow
there.
fever,
Yeah.
okay. That'd just make the immunity stronger, right?
Yep.
N and C says, is it normal for a killie to be really aggressive and eat smaller fish?
Yes, because especially the annuals, they have such a short lifespan and there's so many of them hatching out that they cannibalize the same species. Their whole purpose is to grow as quickly as they can so that they can breed and lay eggs to leave eggs for when the ponds dry. So
Biggest,
the
strongest.
people that have brought the Moima quees back, they'll get hundreds of eggs, okay? But as soon as they hatch, they have to put them in individual containers, because if they don't, they
They'll
cannibalize.
predate, yeah.
And the bigger ones will eat the smaller ones, and the bigger ones will get bigger and eat the ones that aren't eating as much. So,
Yeah.
their whole purpose is to get to breeding size as quickly as possible, so they can
And that's
procreate.
the way they do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Same with rainbow fish actually do that too. That's
Yeah.
why you gotta get the runners out
Yeah.
and stuff. Let's see. I'm gonna go back up because I know there was a ton of questions and did not want to miss them because there was some really good ones up here. So if you did ask that question, I'm trying to get to you guys. Animal Cracker says, Michael, why does everyone go collecting in Peru? Is it the friendliest government? I bet there's a lot of hidden gems in Venezuela.
Yeah, but you try to get into Venezuela right
Yeah,
now, and it's illegal for a non-Brazilian to dip a net collecting fish in Brazil.
Oh,
There are some people that do that and brag about it, but one of those people that did it recently ended up in jail.
dang.
You're-
Oh, yeah. I
Okay.
heard about that, yeah.
So, yeah,
Not me.
the laws for exporting fish out of Peru it's much easier.
Okay.
And the exporters are well-known businesses down there. It's iffy if you've got an American passport going to Colombia. I have some friends, I'll introduce you to them tomorrow, that have collected in Venezuela, but that was 25, 30 years ago. And the Guyana Shield has some amazing fish, but trying to get fish out of there.
Where's the Guyana Shield?
Suriname, the British Guyana, that's now Guyana. That's the Guyana Shield is the northern part of South America that drains into the Caribbean.
Okay.
There's three, and that's one of the two old mountain ranges. There's the Brazilian Shield and the Guyana Shield. And when they were young, they were very high, and the Amazon at that time drained into the Pacific Ocean. And then, and then the Andes, being the newest mountains in South America, rose, and I have a talk about all this kind of stuff too. The Andes rose, and now the Amazon flows into the Atlantic.
That's wild. So it
Between
used to go that
the
way.
Guiana Shield and the Brazilian Shield. So if you're looking at the map of South America, you've got the Guiana Shield in the north, you've got the Brazilian Shield here, and you got the Andes here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. Very interesting. And Xanadu, thank you for being a member for 20 months. That is awesome of you.
Wow.
It says, yes, let's get Lucas down to the Amazon. Wouldn't that be amazing? Oh my God.
Take up a collection.
Yeah,
Fund this,
yeah.
fund it so we can come down.
Yeah, hit them super chats. I appreciate you guys. Says Andy's 70 VW bus says, does Michael ever make it up to around Buffalo, New York?
I've been up there.
I'm sure if you want to give him to give a talk to your club or something, definitely reach out to him.
Yeah.
What would be the best to reach out again for him?
Michael.mtamazonexpeditions@gmail.com.
All right. We'll keep feeding that to them so
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
feed it in their
yeah.
heads. Let's see. Saints Dust Aquarium says, you able to get pseudoplatystoma?
Oh yeah, we get
Fasciatum,
them a lot.
Barred cerumen shipped.
Cerebum, limas.
Yes. Barred
Yeah, we get those guys.
Let's see.
We've got those. And the Lima shovel nose are amazing. I had a trio of them in a 90. That they were just amazing, beautiful fish. They get about this big.
Really? I don't think I know what those
Lima
look
shovel
like.
nose. Yeah.
The shovel?
The shovel
They
nose, Lima shovel
okay.
nose, but they're the small ones.
They
They're
stay
not
small.
the big, huge ones.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we catch the big, huge ones down there.
Right,
And
and
they're
they-
delicious eating.
Yeah.
Make a great ceviche.
Huh.
And, you know, we eat well on the boat.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
We eat very well.
Yeah. I love fish.
Yeah.
Mickey M says, have they dissected any of the small species to see what live foods are preferred, insects, mosquitoes, worms?
We've had a lot of biologists on trips that have done dissecting. We've got a guy out of Neil Clark out of the UK that's been doing studies on microplastics in the fish.
Is that a problem down there?
Yeah, it's a problem
Everywhere.
the entire world,
Yeah.
the microplastics. And they're discovering that there's a lot more microplastics in the fish than they ever imagined.
Makes my eyes roll.
Yeah, yeah.
Really bad.
You get that salmon, and how much plastic are you?
Yeah.
The wild caught salmon. Yeah.
It's a crazy world we live in, that's for sure. I hope we figure it out as a society. I don't get why people litter. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I know, like, down there, they'll just shoot the trash through some of those streams and creeks just because they have no management for...
They have no way of disposing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sad.
And in Peru, they say it's Brazil's problem because it floats down the Amazon to Brazil.
Oh my God. Richard Sampson says, did you ever get bit when you were collecting, or do you know anybody that's been bit by anything?
Well, the only time we've had people bit by piranhas is when they say, do they bite? And they put their finger in the piranha and it goes,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Come on.
yeah. No, it's the piranha feeding frenzy is a myth.
Yeah.
But no, people don't get bit.
Yeah. Okay. Because I know there's probably a few people that have some fears, like they just don't know what to expect when they go on such a trip, and they're thinking, this is wild Amazon where everything's
We've
down
never
there.
had anybody
Jaguars,
bit.
snakes,
Yeah, we've never had anybody
spiders.
bit by a fish. We do have ERP groups down there that are catching the snakes, and the snakes will,
Yeah. You're
clump
kind of
into you.
asking for
but
it.
they're
in that
yeah.
profession,
I was down there, Dustin Wunderlich, Dustin's fish room.
Yeah.
I was down there with Dustin years ago, and we were wandering through one of our forest reserves through virgin rainforest, and Dustin likes taking selfies.
Yeah.
So we're going up this trail, And I tap Dustin on this shoulder, so he turns that way. And I say, Dustin, if you promise not to take a selfie, turn the other way and about 10 feet off the trail in that sunlight beam, there's a bushmaster. And that's the second most poisonous snake in the Amazon. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful snake.
Huh.
And he didn't take a selfie of that.
Oh, I imagine.
Yeah.
Very cool. I remember when he went on that trip too. I think that's where I started.
He's been down there twice.
Yeah. He was showing off the dolphins and all kinds.
Yeah, he lost a camera. He was out in the middle of the pink dolphins and filming, and he dropped his camera, and the crew dived and dived and dived and dived.
Trying to find
tried
it.
to find it. Never found it.
Brutal. Long lost footage somewhere out there in
someplace.
the Amazon. Dustin's fish tank.
Covered in 100 meters of sand by now.
Yeah, and still, who knows where it's at. It'll never be seen again, or ever. Is Michael in contact and do trips with the Norwegian Episto expert Tom Christofferson?
No. I know of Tom, and I've spoken to him a couple times, but haven't done any trips with him.
And Jason Holbrook, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. 10 for the Peru fund. I appreciate you, brother. Really, really appreciate you. We definitely have to put that on the bucket list, for sure. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, so you got $10 for your trip?
Yeah, $10 so far. I'm working
There
up
you go.
there. Yep. And then we got another $10. Thank you, J10 Plays. Says, what's the type of wild discus you have in the background? Because I keep wild discus.
These are, and the light's starting to turn down. These are the red spotted greens out of the Rio Nanay. And they're a heckle, and they're introduced in Peru. There's several stories about the introduction. So they'll when they get bigger, they will get spots all over red spots all over the body. But they're green, the green heckle discus.
It's almost like they got that pigeon blood in the
Yeah,
bottom of them.
Yeah, well, they're wild.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I prefer the wild fish.
Yeah.
And the angelfish that come out of that river, since it's a very acidic river, nobody that I'm aware of has done any genetic studies, but they sell them as the Peruvium altums, and they're a much taller bodied scalari.
Yeah, those
And
things
they're
get
just
big.
beautiful,
Oh my
beautiful
God.
fish.
Remember Takashi Amano had a huge aquarium just full of those, and they were just ginormous.
So that you can
Oh,
breathe it.
yeah.
But a couple of these are starting to show the red spots up on the body.
Yeah. Let me flip you guys around. Sorry, I'm moving you guys around faster. Or sorta.
But they're the light's starting to.
Yeah, it's hard to get off that
I
reflection and
have it
stuff.
going down. You know how to get it with no reflection?
Yeah, tell me your secret. No reflection secret? Let's know.
Put the camera right against the glass.
Oh, yeah. Just. Oh, here we go.
Getting some color up on the top.
Yeah, right on the top fin.
Yeah. A couple of them are starting to show the red spots.
I love the band over their eyes.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
This guy's.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he's showing the red spots all over his bottom of his body.
And they will start, when they mature, they come higher up into the body, the red spots. But some get more red spots than others.
Very beautiful. Very cool. All right, flip you guys back around here, settle you guys down. We were near the hour mark. I was actually only going to go a half hour because we were late doing this, and I didn't want to step on. I think Danikin Aquatics does the live after us, but not every day that we get to sit down with expertise like this. So gotta utilize it while we can. So
Some people ask me how many times I've been down there. I have no idea. Some years I've been down there 7, 8 times.
Wow.
Other years, it's only once or twice.
So more times than you
So-
can even count, yeah, out
And,
the window.
yeah, I have no idea how many
That's
times.
amazing. That's amazing.
It becomes an addiction.
Oh,
I have many times a year the best fish room in the world. It's called the Amazon.
Very cool, very cool. And once again, sorry if I'm missing your guys' questions. I'm doing my best to get to them all for you guys. Chris Robertson, are gold laser quarries naturally occurring as well? He mentioned
Yes.
that earlier,
The
yes.
golds and the greens are naturally occurring.
What was the area like that orange lasers prefer?
It was upriver, and I did not catch them. I actually traded a T-shirt with a fisherman that had
Really?
them in the bottom of his canoe. And I saw him and said, that's
What
a
are
Cory.
those?
That's a Cory.
Ah.
And that looks like a new one. And I asked him, and I swapped him a T-shirt for all of them he had.
We look
I
at
brought
you
those
funny.
back. Yeah.
He's like, why is this guy trying to...
Well,
get
he
these
knew what
quarries?
he had.
Oh, he knew what he
Yeah,
had,
he was-
okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
They were exporting them to Europe at that time, but they had not been exported yet to the United States.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was way up the river.
So probably, like, what do you think that the surroundings was like? Be like sandy substrate
Yeah,
or
yeah.
leaf litter and
Yeah.
all
Well,
that?
it's leaf litter is. You
Your
come down,
normal
you'll see
kinda
lots of
creek.
leaf litter.
Yeah, yeah, so-
You got this much leaf litter than mud and sand.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like a creek, just in
Yeah,
another
creek.
space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, that's the biggest trick is just let Mother Nature in. When it comes to breeding
Yeah.
any kinds of aquariums, let Mother Nature into your aquarium, as long as it's not the bad stuff like parasites and stuff. But getting those, I mean, I'm sure you guys deal with those much as far as collecting, and I'm sure you probably can pick the healthy fish from the not so healthy
Yeah,
fish.
yeah,
because
and
it's
we
more
hit-
about immunity.
We hit everything down there. We used to use Furon too, but you can't get that
Yeah.
when we collect them. So I hit everything with API General Cure.
Okay.
We have a fish room that we set up on the boat. We have a 71-foot boat that we use as our collecting base.
Wow. Now, how many tanks are on that?
Well, the fish room, I have a rack with bins in it, and then we have coolers and some wash bins and those kind of things.
That's pretty cool.
We do well, yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a air pump from Gemco, so we pump air into the fish. But we treat them, and then when I bring fish back, I hit them with API General Cure, erythromycin. I know erythromycin is also a general cure. And an ick medication. And I will quarantine fish for 2-3 months
Oh, wow.
before
That's a
I
long time.
put them with anything. And then I take goat dewormer and I soak the freeze-dried
In with
cubes
the dewormer?
in goat dewormer, the liquid goat dewormer.
Like that fenbendazole?
Yeah, you can buy the fenbendazole goat dewormer.
Yeah.
And I soak these. And another thing you can do, and I'm not doing it now, but I used to do, I would gut feed Artemisia, baby brine shrimp,
Yeah.
because as after their first molt, they start eating like crazy. And I would take them out of the bins where you're raising them. I use pop bottles, soda bottles, and put them in a little bit of fresh water with a goat dewormer, and they're feeding away, and you gut fill them with the goat dewormer, and then the fish eat that, and then it gets in the inside. It's much more
okay,
efficient
okay.
getting the goat dewormer into the fish
Yeah, because I
than
was
just
wondering
suspending it.
how likely they're to eat that after it's been soaked.
They're
They're
ravenous.
still on it?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
These guys, before they came into this big tank, were in a 40 breeder that a friend had loaned me. And they were eating this, and several times a week I was soaking the blackworms and the goat dewormer.
Very
So
interesting.
I'm pretty confident that, the worms have been killed out of them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, usually that's something you can tell too.
Yeah,
if it,
yeah,
like,
they look
sort
very,
of-
very
oh,
healthy.
they
They're-
look really, really healthy.
Yeah.
No sunken or swollen bellies or
No.
anything. all proportionate. All right, we are at the hour mark here. I hate to hop off here, but I still haven't even eaten for the night. And
I'm gonna feed him a little bit.
yeah, he said he's got some leftovers for me, so let's see what that's about. But I appreciate all you guys joining and hanging out with us here on this Friday Night Live, and hope you guys all have a great weekend. Also, if you're in the area,
Potomac Valley
Yes.
Aquarium Society at the Green Acres Community Center in Fairfax, Virginia tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
yeah, I'll be there. I'll be giving a talk. Do you guys do an auction or anything?
We have
at your
an
club?
auction.
So if you guys
There's
want
already
fish too?
60, 70 stuff in the auction.
Oh my goodness. I should have brought more money. But all right, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out with the stream and sharing all your knowledge with us.
Glad to share and promote MT Amazon Expeditions.
Yeah.
And your talk tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you.
that was awesome. All right, hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, everybody. Peace. Have a great one.
That worked. Wasn't the probably what you're used to, but
No, but I love that. That was great.